This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. I'm Derek Gilbert with 5 things you need to know for this Tuesday. One thing you need to know, if you're watching us on YouTube at 5 in 10, thank you. Please subscribe, click the bell for notifications, click the like button, and then stick around after the break because you need to know how to guarantee we never get canceled again. Item number 5 today, Israel. Terror in Tel Aviv. Monday, bomb exploded in the heart of the city as a suicide bomber observed on CCTV carrying a backpack had his device detonate sooner than he expected. He was killed. A bystander on a motorbike was injured. Shin Bet said still working to confirm the identity of the bomber, who was a man in his 50s, although Hebrew media outlets reported that he was believed to be a Palestinian Arab from Nablus, that's ancient Shechem in Samaria. The last suicide bombings in Tel Aviv happened 20 years ago. This was something that the Israelis had gotten used to not having to deal with. Israeli police and intelligence have labeled this a terror attack after their initial investigation, and not long after, Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad claimed credit for it and promised that there would be more suicide attacks to come. Topic number 4, too little, too late. A committee led by the Republicans in the House of Representatives that's been investigating the Biden family announced in a 291-page report published Monday that the President Joe Biden, did engage in impeachable conduct by helping to enrich his family with millions of dollars through various business schemes that monetized his time as vice president in the Obama administration. Obviously, this would have been a lot more useful a few months ago when there was time for the Republican-controlled House of Representatives to take action on this and actually begin the impeachment proceedings. Of course, also before the Department of Justice had decided not to prosecute President Biden because they essentially determined that he was not mentally competent to stand trial. That's what Special Prosecutor Robert Hur said, or meant, when he said that he was a kindly elderly gentleman with a poor memory. He's not competent to stand trial. Anyway, Just the News, justthenews.com, reporting that the report is unlikely to result in any formal proceedings because Biden's dropped out of the 2024 presidential race and he is the lamest of lame ducks at this point. Topic number 3, Ukraine. Narrative is shifting even further. Bombshell report in the Wall Street Journal about the detonation, the bombing of the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline. Another major attempt by the corporate media, the gatekeepers, if you will, to shift the narrative on the sabotage and put the blame on Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and this supposedly rogue top general who oversaw the covert operation. Still, it is now crystal clear and fully established at this point, according to the media. Yes, Ukraine bombed the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. No, Russia did not do it. And yes, Ukraine had at least the foreknowledge, if not the involvement, of the Central Intelligence Agency of the United States of America. This sudden U-turn in the narrative is meant to apparently soften the blow from Germany's decision to cut off the flow of money to Ukraine. Some German lawmakers angry at being used and abused by the Ukrainian government. The Nord Stream 2 pipeline was a years-long, multi-billion-dollar project that would have brought cheap natural gas from Russia into Western Europe, specifically Germany. Now, there are some investigative journalists, specifically Seymour Hersh, Pulitzer Prize winner. He broke the story of the My Lai massacre back during the Vietnam era, who argued that this was done because American businessmen and bankers didn't want Germany's industrial base benefiting from a cheap supply of energy. And that the bombing was actually done by divers from the U.S. Navy diving and salvage team. Well, Hersh never followed up on his story. He said that doing so would compromise his sources. We don't know for sure what is going on here, but what we do know is that the German Bundestag, their version of Congress, is calling for Ukraine to compensate Germany for the loss of revenue and the economic impact of losing that supply of energy. Relations between Germany and Ukraine have gone downhill ever since the German Prosecutor General's office over the weekend issued an arrest warrant for a Ukrainian citizen suspected of being involved in the pipeline sabotage. And a report over the weekend in German media said the government is now planning to stop new military aid to Ukraine. The end of the gravy train for the Ukrainian government is near. Topic number 2, the toxic rainbow. Running counter to the narrative, another Pride organization, we'll put that in air quotes, Pride, founder of this organization, has been arrested on suspicion of being a child predator, proving once again that when you've got an LGBTQIA+ activist focusing on children and gender ideology, it's probably wise to be suspicious. Stephen Ireland, 40-year-old founder and former director of LGBT activist charity Pride in Surrey, that's in the UK, has been arrested on a total of 37 charges involving child sexual abuse. Ireland supports and promotes indoctrinating children into gender ideology. He's a patron of a charity called Educate and Celebrate. That charity ran Pride workshops for primary and secondary school students, including, quote, how to break the binary and be gender inclusive, end quote. The arrest of Ireland, part of a trend over the past year of LGBT activist groups and charities exposed as havens for pedophiles. Last November, activist and journalist Slade Somer, former managing editor of CNN's now defunct BEME video sharing app, or BeMe video sharing app, editor-in-chief of the left-leaning video-driven news site The Recount, was arrested on charges of possessing and distributing child pornography. In British Columbia, Sean Edward Leonard Gravelis, board president of the North Peace Pride Society, arrested on charges of sexual interference, sexual exploitation, possession of child pornography, and importing or distributing child pornography. Beyond these investigations, the list of prominent LGBT activists being arrested for child abuse is becoming extensive, and the worst perpetrators appear to operate from behind the curtain of charity and community organizations. Now, this is not a blanket condemnation of people who live alternative lifestyles. In fact, there is a fracture in that movement where the L's, the G's, and the B's are not happy with the T's for bringing them into disrepute. But again, asking questions, especially of these groups that want to focus on indoctrinating children, that's not being hateful. If you're a parent or a grandparent, it's just being wise. Coming up, bad timing can be dangerous. I'll explain why next on 5 and 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can easily and conveniently stream this incredible new film, Void Earth Cataclysm Before Genesis, right now at skywatchtv.com/stream or on the mobile app for immediate access. However, if you'd like to receive your own hard copy on DVD, Skywatch TV is proud to announce the Void Earth Ultra Collection. When you order this exclusive collection from the Skywatch TV store, you'll receive the brand new documentary from Defender Investigative Films, Void Earth Cataclysm Before Genesis, along with Dr. Thomas Horn and Reverend Donna Howell's best-selling book, Before Genesis, The Unauthorized History of Tohu, Bohu, and the Chaos Dragon in the Land Before Time. These powerful works present astounding revelations like no other, taken directly from the Word of God, the conclusion to the events of Genesis that merges all contributing voices from not only the young and old creationist groups, but the scientific community as well into one balanced and agreeable climax. They reveal precisely how ancient archaeological sites like Göbekli Tepe and the Doorway of the Serpent point irrefutably to an intelligent race of beings here on Earth thriving before the time of Adam and under Lucifer's fallen dominion. They pull back the veil on exactly what the Earth was like during the without form and void era of Genesis 1-2, and so much more, featuring Dr. Michael Lake, Derek Gilbert, Reverend Donna Howell, Gary Stearman, and the late Dr. Thomas Horn in what would become his last documentary appearance ever. But that's not all. You'll also receive 315, The Genesis of All Prophecy by the legendary Rabbi Eric Walker, This prophetic, convicting, and heart-rending book exposes anti-Semitism as Satan's plan to eliminate the Jews and the catastrophic consequences the world will face if this agenda succeeds. Sold separately, all of these items hold a retail value of $75. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Void Earth Ultra Collection now.
Item number 1 today. Timing is everything, especially when you're breaking up with someone. Story from Minnesota, a woman named Veronica Rolene Gast. Veronica Rolene Gast, arrested after allegedly running over her boyfriend in a fit of rage as they were on the way to couples counseling. They'd been dating for about a year. They'd hit a rough patch in the relationship, decided to go to couples counseling to work things out. And on the way, Gast's boyfriend decided that was the perfect time to say he wanted out of the relationship. He wanted to break up. Big mistake. She told him to get out of the car and walk home. He wanted a ride. She said, no way. So he got out of the car. And as he walked in front of the vehicle, according to news reports, they locked eyes for a moment, as one might make eye contact with the driver of an oncoming bus. At which point, according to Gast's boyfriend, she hit the gas, ran him over. Well, he hit the hood, hit the windshield, cracking it, went over the back of the car. Thankfully, only suffered a lacerated elbow. No serious injuries beyond that, but maybe the timing, on your way to couples counseling was not, while she's driving, not the ideal time to let her know that he wanted to break up. I mean, besides the fact that my dad always taught me never walk in front of a vehicle, usually walk behind. Of course, you'd have to watch out for suddenly the reverse lights on the taillights. But here's some other helpful advice if you're considering ending a relationship. Don't do it at the target range or in the kitchen while your partner is, say, chopping vegetables, or while hiking next to a steep ledge, or swimming in the ocean while your other is in charge of the powerboat, or if they're packing your parachute before jumping out of an airplane. Just some advice that will serve you well in years to come. Well, this has been a strange and challenging summer for the staff at Whispering Ponies Ranch, as Joe Artis Horn shared on Skywatch TV, and as churches and church camps across the country are discovering. Insurance coverage is suddenly becoming very difficult to obtain for churches and church camps. And insurance companies finding it difficult to turn a profit. We're living in a very litigious society, and running church camps, especially for children in foster care, has its own set of liability issues. So, how did the staff at Whispering Ponies Ranch have to adapt this year? Find out. That's this week's program on Skywatch TV. You can watch it right now at our website, skywatchtv.com. All of our video content is always there. If you go to your favorite video streaming site, you don't find us there, go to the website, skywatchtv.com. You can also watch it over the air. Our broadcast schedule is posted, skywatchtv.com/channels. It's also available at Roku or Apple TV. Also now Amazon Fire TV, Google TV. Go to their app stores, add the Skywatch TV channel to your set-top box. You can watch it over the internet, youtube.com/@Skywatch Television or rumble.com/Skywatch TV. Or better yet, get our app. Add it to your smartphone or tablet, because not only does it bring all of our video content right to your smartphone or tablet, you also wind up I thought it was on Do Not Disturb. You also get other bonuses like an audio Bible with multiple translations, calendar of our upcoming events, and a link to our streaming video site. So you can watch the new Skywatch documentary, Void Earth, right there from your phone. You can then cast it using Google's Chromecast or Apple's AirPlay to your smart TV. We've got links to the app stores for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire devices at our website, skywatchtv.com/app. 5 in 10 online at 5 in 10 on YouTube, at X, formerly Twitter, at 5_in_10. And thank you for watching. As we keep watch, I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.